So it's been a while since my last video, and that's for a multitude of reasons, but I think the number one reason is I had to come to terms with a fairly hard realization in my life, and that realization is I'm just not that big of a fan of breakfast food. Or at the very least, I have confusing feelings. I realized this a couple weeks ago when my friends and I went to go try Wendy's breakfast on day one. We did the same thing back in 2014 when Taco Bell started their breakfast, so we kind of figured we'd keep the tradition going. It was a good morning. Chris was running on only 3 hours of sleep, so he was pretty close to being legally dead. Noah did a pretty funny impression of John Lennon that I was fortunate enough to capture on camera. Good morning, Noah.
It's not complicated. Find the girl you love and tell her that you love her.
What the actual fuck was that? But unfortunately, our friend Jesse, who went with us the first time, couldn't come. But I managed to make sure that he was there with us in spirit. Yeah, we get it. You have friends. Talk about the food. All right, that's fair enough. Thank you, tiny voice in my head. In my opinion, the food was pretty good. Personally, I got the breakfast Baconator, but with no egg. Mostly because I'm not a fan of eggs in general, and I'm not overly enthusiastic about fast food eggs. I also got the breakfast potatoes and a Frosty Chino, which is essentially just like ice cream coffee. All in all, I'd say it was a solid, 3.5 out of 5. For me, the hierarchy of fast food breakfast goes a little like this. So, coming in at number 4 is Burger King. In my opinion, the best thing that Burger King has for breakfast is the ability to order lunch where I live. Because otherwise, their breakfast options, it ain't it. Coming in at number 3 for me is McDonald's. I'm not overly enthused with the breakfast selection because a lot of it is egg-based, but one thing is for certain, and that is the fact that McDonald's hash browns are, the quintessential fast food breakfast food. Honestly, they are, the best thing that a potato could become. Now that I've had it, Wendy's is taking my number 2 spot. The breakfast Baconator is fantastic, mostly because Wendy's bacon is just absolutely superb. And honestly, the fact that they have a potato option that isn't a hash brown is really refreshing. That, of course, leaves the number 1 spot open for Taco Bell. The Breakfast Crunchwrap is hands down, I think, the best restaurant-made breakfast concoction I've ever had in my life. You may be thinking, your feelings on breakfast don't seem that confusing, and I can understand why it seems like that, considering I have a clearly thought-out ranking of all of them. To me, though, the problem is, there's never been a time where I've woken up before 10:30 a.m. and just thought, you know what? Hell yeah! Let's get breakfast. Because of that, and the fact that I have nothing better to do with my time than play Call of Duty, I thought, if I can't find something that truly wows me, why don't I try and make something myself? Ta-da! Alright, so as you can see before me, I've got 3 bags. I've got something from McDonald's, something from Taco Bell, and something from Wendy's. I was sitting and thinking to myself, I'm like, what could I make with an amalgamation of the ingredients from all of these different places? And certainly the easiest thing that I thought to make would be my very own custom breakfast burrito. So as you can see, I've gone out and gotten the ingredients. I've gotten what I think is the best thing from each place, minus Burger King, of course, because... So, I'm now going to throw all of these onto a single tortilla and see how it comes out. So as you can see, we've got our tortilla laid out right here, but before I go any further, I want to address the biggest mistake that I made in this entire process that made making this burrito fairly difficult. That mistake is, if you're going to use tortillas, make sure they're heated up first. With that being said, the very first step of this monstrosity is adding a beautiful bed of 2 McDonald's hash browns. The next step is taking your breakfast crunch wrap and breaking it down to its bare ingredients. After you dispose of the tortilla, the one alteration that we need to make is by taking out the hash brown that comes default in the breakfast crunch wrap. Taco Bell's hash browns are delicious, but leaving it in the burrito might make the whole thing just a little bit too potato-y. And then last, but certainly not least, the cherry on top, that good old Wendy's bacon. Lastly, the footage that you're seeing right now is exactly why I added the cautionary tale of warming up your tortillas. You see, I made the very basic mistake of using tortillas straight out of the refrigerator, and this was almost impossible to wrap. But with my tortilla issues aside, let's see how it tasted. Alright, I now present to you the ultimate breakfast burrito. This includes McDonald's hash browns, a breakfast crunch wrap from Taco Bell, and I also have some Wendy's bacon. Unfortunately, the back of it looks like a pair of pre-ripped jeans you'd get from, like, Forever 21. So that's why I'm just going to show you guys this side. Alright, here's the first bite. We'll see if it's any good. This may be the best breakfast food I've ever had in my life. I've now invited Michelle for a second taste. Go ahead and I'm holding it together for you.
What did you do to this tortilla?
It's pre-distressed. It's pretty good. The one thing that I forgot to get while I was out was I wanted to get some hot picante sauce from McDonald's because I really like hot picante sauce. Now, a question I have, would I do anything differently? If I was trying to remake this again, I would ask for everything a la carte. Like, I would just be like, hey, I want all of the ingredients of a breakfast crunch wrap, but separately. That, and again, I wouldn't forget to add hot sauce. You know what, speaking of hot sauce, I got this stuff at the store recently. I'm extremely Caucasian, so this is really hot to me. I'm gonna throw a little bit of that on there. Not too much, because I still have to function for the rest of the day. Cheers.
It was at this moment that he knew. He f***ed up.
Well, now I can't feel my mouth. Well, that was certainly an experience. You know, I probably should have knew that it was not a good idea to put that hot sauce on the burrito because, well, it used to be one of the ones on Hot Ones, and I'm incredibly sensitive to heat, so no idea why I thought it was a good idea. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, go ahead and leave a like. If you really enjoyed it, go ahead and share it with your friends. Sharing these videos and getting other people to see it would mean so much to me. And if you want to see more of my content, go ahead and hit subscribe and then hit the little bell icon. By hitting the little bell icon, it will notify you every single time I upload whatever this is. A link to my last video will be somewhere over here, and then a link to a video of YouTube's choosing will be over here as well. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.